Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So today I'm going to show you how I make my super crispy tofu. So I've shown you guys this method a few times before already as a part of some other videos, but I thought I would also make a separate video just going a bit more into detail. So you're going to start with a block of firm tofu and you're going to cut it into even sized pieces. So I just cut mine through the middle and then in fours and then cut those strips into bite-sized pieces. So you want to press as much water out of the tofu as possible so that we will be able to make the tofu pieces as crispy as we can. So if you own a tofu press, just use that to press the whole block of tofu. But I like to cut my tofu into pieces first and then press it because I don't own a tofu press. And this way I can get way more water out of the pieces, I think. So I just spread out my tofu on a kitchen towel and then fold the towel on top, add a cutting board and then a very heavy pan on top and just press it like this for about 30 minutes. So after the tofu has been pressed, the towel should be wet and the tofu should feel pretty dry. And then you can transfer the tofu pieces to a bowl and then we'll add the toppings. So the most important thing we're going to add is cornstarch. So this is going to give the tofu a super crispy layer on the outside. And yeah, you want to add quite a lot because you want all of the tofu to be coated in this. Then add some seasoning to the tofu. So I usually just add some paprika powder and some salt and some pepper, but you can use any herbs that you like. So at this stage you can add a lot of herbs or not, depending on what you want. I usually just keep my tofu pretty simple because I usually make like a sauce to go with it or something. So I just make it very simple. So then we're going to fry the tofu. So just add a small layer of sunflower oil to a pan and heat that up. So if you want a tofu recipe that uses less oil than this one, I've also got a baked crispy tofu recipe on my channel that I'll link. So yeah, make sure the oil is hot enough before adding the tofu or it will not get as crispy. So here you can see when I added a piece of tofu to the oil when it wasn't hot enough yet, nothing really happened. So you want the oil to bubble up a lot when you add a piece, and that means the oil is hot enough. So as you can see here, this is what you want. So yeah, just add all of the pieces and fry them until they are crispy. So this took me about 5 minutes on like medium heat for each side of the tofu. So about 10 minutes in total. But just keep an eye on it because it will vary depending on what kind of stove you have. So after one side has nicely crisped up, I like to flip mine using 2 teaspoons because I find this the easiest way to just flip them without like splattering myself with hot oil. So yeah, just fry the tofu for another 5 minutes on that side and then it's done. So carefully remove the pieces from the oil and let them leak out on a bit of kitchen paper towel. So as you can see, the tofu is completely coated in a super crispy layer and it's just so good. I've cooked so much tofu in my life before, but this is definitely still my favorite way to make it. So you could eat your tofu like this with just some noodles and veggies, but you could also make a sauce to go with it and make it even better.